views expressed on the following program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership.
Arizona, Phoenix. This is Brother Mike. I'm back on the radio again. Thank you for tuning in. HardcoreChristianity.com. Today's Bible study, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey, come on, man. Say it isn't so. Hey, you call somebody right now and tell them the radio program's on. This is Brother Mike. I'm the professional counselor at the Arizona Deliverance Center. We're on 15th Avenue, just south of Osborne Road in Central Phoenix. On the website, HardcoreChristianity.com. We have all of our ministry services. We have 2 live services per week. Thursday night, Friday night, 7 p.m., preaching, teaching, healing, and deliverance. I teach on Friday nights for my radio listeners. Thank you for all your kind donations off the PayPal button on the website. Very grateful for it. The Healing House has been renovated and is up and running. And we're having people healed and delivered the first week it was open. And it was because of you. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for contacting Sister Karen on the front page of the website and for your listing for real estate. Sending her some listings. That is fantastic, and we are deeply grateful for your support. Thank you. Thank you so much. Today's Bible study, Harvey Weinstein. Can you believe it? Yes, sir. We had Bill Cosby. Now we got Harvey. Bill and Harvey. Wouldn't you like to see them in a cage match? You know, I'd pay to see a couple minutes of it, and then I'd have to leave, but wow, what a hideous story. And believe it or not, the root to Bill Cosby and Harvey is unclean spirits of sexual perversion. They are the root to this horrible thing. But I've been a professional counselor for 35 years here in Maricopa County. Would you be surprised if I told you there's no difference between Harvey and Bill and the Christian church in America? Would you be surprised if I told you that? You would? You won't be after this program. Did you see this article in the paper? Notable women in Christian leadership, such as Beth Moore and Kay Warren, have joined the chorus of thousands of people revealing their stories of sexual assault and harassment under the Me Too hashtag. Now, you know what the Me Too is, of course. A celebrity set that up on Twitter, and this thing has started an avalanche. And this Twitter is kind of a semi-anonymous method of being able to get your story out, and it has hit the ground running. Absolutely incredible. And guess what's many of them are on the Me Too hashtag? Guess what they are? Christians calling in, flooding the account with abusive pastors and abusive church members toward women suffering from sexual harassment in Christianity and at church. Quote, actress Alyssa Milano shared on Twitter on Sunday a suggestion from a friend. If all the women who've been sexually harassed or assaulted wrote Me Too as a status, we might give people a sense of the magnitude of this problem. It all comes in the wake of Harvey Weinstein's scandal in Hollywood, exposing decades of harassment and rape from the big-time movie producer. Thousands of people, many women, but a few also men, celebrities and people from all walks of life have shared their stories on hashtag Me Too. And they've told their stories of pastoral church members, ministerial sexual abuse toward women. Sexual abuse toward women in Christianity is rampant in the Christian church. It happens all the time. Of course, we know that from the scandals that break out every few months. There's a scandal break out in a Christian church or church denomination. And those scandals are always about the big two. It's either sex or money. Those are the two main Christian scandals, as you know. But this problem with sinners is the same in the church. It's exactly the same. For 25 years here in Maricopa County, I was a secular counselor, and God called me into the ministry, and I left my secular career, and I started my Christian ministry as a Christian counselor. I just transitioned from secular to ministry. I remember years ago when I did that, I was absolutely shocked to find out that there were very little difference, and in most cases no difference, between the sinners I had been counseling over the years and the Christians I was currently counseling. And as a Christian counselor over the last 10 years, to me it's normal for a Christian to come in for counseling that has exactly the same problems as the sinners. And one of them is sexual perversion. It's prolific in Christianity. People don't know that because they sweep it under the rug, obviously. And people like Bill Cosby and Harvey Weinstein, they are able to abuse women literally for decades. Literally for decades. When they go one step too far and that one person reveals an allegation. The first person that was sexually harassed should have come forward. Let me tell you a personal story. I get a call from my daughter down in Tucson. My granddaughter is a soccer player, and she's on full scholarship with Cochise Community College, which is located down near Benson, Arizona. My granddaughter comes in from practice, and she had pulled a muscle in her back. So she goes into the training room, and she lays down on the bench, and the trainer comes in, and she explains to him that she pulled a muscle in her back, and he lays her down on her stomach, and then he stretches her arms out, and then he stretches her legs out, and then he starts to blow on her feet. He's blowing on her feet, and my granddaughter doesn't know what to make of it. She thinks, well, maybe he just bent over and he breathed on my feet and this will stop. And then about 30 seconds later, he starts kissing her feet. Well, she leaped off the training table and ran to the coach, and then ran to the athletic director, and then ran to the Benson or the Douglas Police Department. I forget which one she went to. And she filed a sexual harassment complaint. Well, the school, come to find out, that trainer, he was in his mid-30s, he had been sexually harassing girls on the basketball team and girls on the soccer team at Cochise Community College for years. He had numerous victims, and had my granddaughter not come out with it, there would have been no investigation. And within a week or a week and a half, the college had done the right thing, and they fired that guy. They fired him and let him go. My granddaughter had done the right thing and came forward right away and stopped it. Well, what happens is, as is in the case of my granddaughter, people sweep sexual sin under the carpet and they don't want to face it. People don't like to face it. It's personal. It's anxiety producing. It's embarrassing. And so what they do, they just sweep it under the carpet until one day somebody steps up. When my granddaughter stepped up against this perverted trainer, then other girls on the soccer team stepped up, and the girls on the basketball team stepped up. Sometimes to do the right thing only requires one person, and that will set off the domino syndrome. That's what happened to Bill Cosby. That's what happened to Harvey Weinstein. One person stepped up and did the right thing and complained. But in Christianity, it's even worse. Nobody wants to face it. It's embarrassing. It's humiliating. People are hurt, people are embarrassed, and they don't want to say anything. And as a counselor, of course, everybody tells me almost everything. I said almost everything. Some people hide stuff from me. But people come in and tell me these deep, dark, personal issues, and on a regular basis, I hear it. But in the general public, people don't hear anything. And at church, it's kept incredibly quiet, except maybe a small clique will find out about it. But they don't even say anything because they don't have firsthand knowledge or experience with it. And they don't want to hurt a man of God or a woman of God. They don't want to embarrass another Christian, and they don't want to say anything because of fears of retaliation. These sexual predators all have spirits of sexual perversion in their bodies. These spirits get in your body through previous sexual sin. And sometimes they get in during the womb, when you're in the womb, because of the sin of generational sin or sin of the parents or the grandparents. But either way, these spirits enter the person's body and they hyperventilate, they hyperaccelerate the person's natural or normal sexual desires. Other spirits of sexual perversion are also causing homosexuality and transgenderism. These demons affect the person's emotions. They attack the person's body sensations and their sensuality. They usually attack in childhood during puberty. And these demons morph the person's sexuality. So then when a scandal breaks out, Harvey Weinstein, Tiger Woods, Bill Cosby, all these TV preachers that get caught in sex scandals, later on, there's tremendous embarrassment, public humiliation, and shame associated with the incident. If the person would have confronted it in the beginning and got the demons out of their body, they would no longer be addicted to pornography, sex, sexual perversion, and they would avoid the scandal and the embarrassment when the devil finally exposes it on you. If you need help, come get it now.
The views expressed on this program are those of the host and not necessarily those of staff, management, or ownership. This program was sponsored by Michael W. Smith.